Hey everyone, in the spirit of Valentine's Day, today I want to talk about self-love, why it can feel so dang hard to love ourselves at times, and how we can begin to cultivate a little bit more self-love. So why is self-love so hard? Why am I here making this video? There are probably a million ways to answer this question, but today I'm boiling it down to 4 things. For starters, self-love can be perceived as selfish or narcissistic. But there's a huge difference between having an inflated sense of ego and recognizing our positive attributes and positive contributions to the world. Now, we don't have to go around patting ourselves on the back all the time and making a big show of it, but what we can do is work on our self-talk. We can say kind things to ourselves because what we say to ourselves matters. Over time, what we think, we believe. The second reason why self-love can feel so hard at times has to do with how we were socialized. Self-deprecation actually is a form of bonding, especially amongst groups of women. The classic example is that scene in Mean Girls when all of the girls go around and point out their least favorite body part, and Katie Heron feels compelled to then point out her perceived flaw, which is her morning breath. These situations are hard. It's hard not to join in on the negative self-talk, but my best advice would be to try and turn the direction of the conversation by paying a compliment forward. Changing the conversation is really important because the more we give other women permission to pay themselves compliments, give themselves kudos, practice self-love, the more we give ourselves permission to do the same. We've come to the third reason why self-love can feel so hard. When we have a history of negative body image, it can be really tough to overcome that narrative. When we can remember vividly when our student asked us if we were pregnant when we weren't, when our colleague said, "You're looking thick lately," and when that retail worker said very bluntly that I shouldn't buy that shirt because it doesn't work with my body shape, those experiences stick with us. Side note, if you were wondering, yes, each of those things happened to me. They weren't just examples pulled out of thin air. These may seem like really small things, but these small things can have a profound impact. Many of us tend to block these experiences out, but what ends up happening is that our feelings, our emotions fester. We need to acknowledge those painful experiences and acknowledge the emotions that come along with it. What is it that we feel and why do we feel that way so that we can finally get it off our chest and move forward? What can be really helpful is finding some form of self-expression, whether that be writing, drawing, singing, dancing, or even just talking to someone, whether that be a friend, family member, or a trusted health professional. The fourth and final reason why self-love can feel so difficult: when we don't get the external validation that we crave. When we're not being recognized by our boss for putting in those extra hours, when we feel somewhat invisible to our spouse or significant other, or when we're not getting those likes on social media that we crave, it can feel really difficult to recognize our worth. In these moments, it can be really helpful to turn to a positive affirmation. You can say something like, "I love myself, I love my body," or if that's a little bit extreme for you, you need to work your way up to that, you can say something like, "I'm working towards accepting, loving, and honoring my body for what it is today." To wrap up, self-love is not something that you just acquire one day and then you're set for life. It takes time. Be patient. Start with self-acceptance. Recognize and believe that you are enough. That will turn into liking, and one day it will blossom into full-blown love. You deserve to feel beautiful. You deserve to feel worthy. You deserve to be loved, to feel loved. Regardless of whether you're interested in coaching, please do not suffer in silence. Reach out to me, reach out to someone. You're not alone. Happy Valentine's Day.